So we'll hang 150-degree right here on center, and then we'll focus it. I'm not interested in going to the theater in order to forget about my problems. I go to theater to confront my problems. I think theater has a role in society, and I try to do my share. I feel a responsibility. So let's just get one shutter in and then go hard edge on that. And the downstage in just a tiny bit. I try to be very accurate with my choices, be very precise. I also try not to be contrived with the lighting design and not do things that are obvious or that you would expect. To have a pattern that is not so soft, to have a color that is very strong, to have an angle that is more sculptural and less flat. I try to make bold choices. The set is actually straight, and we're trying to do a false perspective effect. These are moving lights that I hung above to look as if it's light coming through the windows.
As an audience member, you're just in awe and you are transported into a different world. You can smell it, you want to touch it. It's so concrete, like it's decadent.
He really appreciates the human form on stage, and so I think his work is really defined by the way that the light sculpts people.
Let's just bring that in.
Itai started as a designer. I would call him a dramaturg as well.
As a lighting designer, I could choose to ignore logic.
He's found himself writing and performing on stage.
Let's take it down to 8.
And I don't see a lot of other designers doing that.
And that's going to be Q15, and that's the last one.
This integration of performance practice and lighting design is a groundbreaking approach.
In September of 1999, I received a phone call from Israel telling me that my mother, Itai Erdal, has been diagnosed with lung cancer and was given 9 months to live.
He's putting on shows that are really putting himself on the line. And there's something very bold and risky, not only in the content of the stories that he's putting out there, but the fact that he's not an actor and he just stands up there for like 90 minutes and just tells the story, forcing us to go, oh, okay, what would I do?
My favorite light is the parcan, which often surprises people. The parcan is the only lamp I know that changes its Kelvin degrees as it dims. As the beam gets dimmer and dimmer, the quality of the light becomes warmer and warmer.
The absence of light is as much design as the presence of light. With How to Disappear Completely, it was about medical assistance in death.
This is a parcan at 100%.
It's in those moments when things disappear are some of the most powerful in the show.
This is a parcan at 7%. You see, when you get to this point, every percent counts. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1%. I use my solo work to talk about subjects that I feel very passionate about, and I feel theater has a very important role in society to try to deal with the toughest things to deal with. Let me just look at it from the front for a sec. To lose the lights? So you guys are the trees?
Yeah.
Creating a theater show from scratch is very, very difficult. In this case, we're talking about devised theater, which is what my shows are also. It's not a playwright that writes a play and other people interpret it. It's a bunch of people in a room making a show together. And that is almost impossible to do without trying things and failing and experimenting.
And then you walk off.
The reasons that I love theater is that I love people and I like community. And I like the intimacy that you get with being in a rehearsal hall with 10 or 12 people and opening a show together. It's such an emotional high, you know, and what has happened with being a father, it just settled me down. And so I feel like I'm more present. I'm happy to be there.
What many of us who make theater long for is community, that feeling of being part of something and building something together. And Itai is absolutely the force who creates that.
When you take different creative people and you put them in a room together, then real magic can happen.